What if the person you trust most turns out to be part of a secret cult and your whole life is a trap ready to destroy you? The show opens with a widow named Virginia. She is 60 years old and constantly depressed and unhappy with how she looks. Every morning when she wakes up, she washes her face with lemon juice, hoping it will somehow hide the wrinkles that came with getting older. When she walks out of her room, she starts talking to Faye, the daughter she adopted. She tells her she feels terrible about her appearance and wants to get cosmetic surgery. Faye tells her everyone gets older and surgery will not really change anything because the wrinkles will always come back. She advises her to accept herself the way she is and spend her free time doing something useful instead of obsessing over it. Virginia ignores her and goes back to her room to put a face mask on. As she passes the window, she sees her neighbor Bernie trimming plants in his yard, and it is obvious she is really attracted to him. Then Faye comes over and tells her that Bernie recently divorced his wife and has been in a very bad emotional state, to the point where she sees him buying alcohol almost every day. Virginia decides to take advantage of that and goes to the liquor store where he usually buys his drinks, hoping to get closer to him and maybe start a relationship. She actually runs into him there and starts talking with him, asking how he has been lately. Bernie says he was depressed after his divorce, but eventually moved on and started dating his girlfriend Cassie. After he finishes talking, he calls Cassie over so they can meet. Virginia is shocked to realize she already knows Cassie and that they were friends back in college. Bernie leaves them to talk and goes to buy a bottle. Virginia cannot help noticing that Cassie looks better than her. She asks her how she managed to stay so beautiful even though she is the same age. Cassie tells her she had cosmetic surgery done by a doctor named Pearl. She gives her the clinic card so she can book an appointment. The next day, Virginia actually goes to the clinic. She tells Dr. Pearl that she hates the way she looks and cannot accept the fact that she is getting older. Pearl interrupts her and says she cannot help her because anyone who gets cosmetic surgery needs to already have confidence in themselves and believe they are beautiful to begin with, and the surgery is just meant to highlight that beauty. Virginia breaks down and begs her to help, saying she cannot live her life normally anymore and cannot even talk to people because she always feels ugly. Pearl is moved by her story and promises she will perform the surgery and make her amazed by her own beauty. To reassure her, she takes her to a private lab and shows her people whose appearances were changed after surgery. After that, Pearl hands her the bill for the procedure. Virginia is shocked to learn the surgery cost $250,000. She does not even have that kind of money because her husband passed away, leaving a lot of debt behind. She goes back home and calls her manager, asking him to sell her car because she needs the money as soon as possible. He tells her the car might sell for $850,000, but reminds her that her husband left huge debts, and if she sells the car, she will not even be able to cover a portion of them, and she may end up losing the house too. Virginia insists on selling the car so she can get the surgery for incense. That night, she keeps thinking about how to gather the rest of the money until she decides to negotiate with Dr. Pearl and ask if she can do the surgery for $150,000. Suddenly, she hears a strange sound coming from Bernie's house. When she looks through the window, she sees him being intimate with his girlfriend Cassie, which really bothers her because she likes him. The next day, she goes back to the clinic to prepare the paperwork for the operation. Dr. Pearl tells her she will also perform cosmetic surgery on her hands so they match her face, and no one will notice her age. Virginia is surprised because she has never heard about hand cosmetic surgery before, but she trusts Pearl and believes she will make her young again. After a long conversation about the operation, Virginia finally brings up the money and tells her she cannot pay more than $150,000 because she is deeply in debt. Pearl surprises her and says she will do the surgery for free because she was touched by her story and wants to help her feel happy with her appearance. The day of the surgery arrives, and Virginia is given a strong anesthetic so she will not feel anything. Before she falls asleep, she notices that Pearl and the nurses all have butterfly tattoos on their hands. She is barely aware of what is happening. Suddenly, they all gather around her and start repeating strange words until they make sure she is completely passed out. Later that night, Faye comes back home. She panics when she sees Virginia with bandages covering her face and notices she is extremely weak and cannot move. She helps her into bed and gives her pain medication so she can rest. She also notices that Virginia has bandages on her hands too. Virginia tells her she had cosmetic surgery and that Dr. Pearl said the bandages will be removed after a week. Faye scolds her for what she did and tells her the manager informed her that they actually owe $3 million, and that within 3 months or even sooner, the bank may seize their house to cover the debt. Before she can finish, Virginia suddenly loses her temper. She tells her that she has no right to interfere in something that is none of her business because she is not her real daughter. She reminds her that she only adopted her when she was 15. Faye feels deeply hurt by that and leaves the room. Suddenly, Virginia starts hearing terrifying noises. She becomes so frightened that she collapses to the floor. Then she is shocked to see a strange figure slowly moving toward her. She screams loudly and her daughter hears her. Faye rushes back to check on her and helps her back into bed. After Virginia regains consciousness and starts feeling better, she apologizes to Faye for the things she said earlier. She asks why she came back to help her even though her feelings were hurt. Faye tells her about a moment from her past when she once had a huge fight with her father. She was extremely angry and started smashing everything around her in a hysterical rage. She almost destroyed the necklace that her biological mother had given her. A necklace that meant everything to her. Remembering that moment made her realize that sometimes people do things they cannot control, especially when they are overwhelmed with anger or trapped in their own thoughts. That is why she forgave her and knows she did not truly mean what she said. But she also tells her she is confused about the surgery because cosmetic surgery usually does not require this many bandages, and it normally is, not this painful. That makes Virginia start feeling uneasy. So she goes back to Dr. Pearl to check on her condition. Pearl tells her that her condition is improving. She explains that the bandages are necessary because the skin tightening affected her tissues. Since she is older, her body is weaker, and it takes longer to recover. Pearl then suggests that Virginia stay at another clinic she owns in a different city. There, the nurses can take care of her, and there are other patients going through similar cosmetic treatments. They can support each other and give her positive energy, because her emotional state needs to stay strong in order for her body to heal properly. Virginia becomes convinced and goes home to pack her things. But her daughter Faye tries to stop her. She tells her that she researched Dr. Pearl and discovered that she is not actually a cosmetic surgeon. There were legal cases against her in New York because she practiced medicine without even being a real doctor. Virginia interrupts her and says she must have looked up the wrong person. Because Pearl is a famous doctor who has done procedures for celebrities and important public figures. She tells her she does not want to hear anything negative right now because she just wants to recover and remove the bandages, despite everything Faye says. Virginia remains determined and leaves for the second clinic. When she arrives, she notices the clinic is located in a very isolated area, deep in the forest. There are many people being treated there. She finds it strange that she is the only one wearing bandages on her face. When Pearl sees her, she warmly welcomes her. She tells her everyone there will support her until the bandages are removed, and that she will be happy with how she looks after the procedure. Then Pearl takes her to the library. She tells her the bandages will be removed today, and it will happen in front of all the patients at the clinic. Because she wants to give them hope and positive energy, so none of them lose faith. Virginia hesitates at first because she feels embarrassed, but she eventually agrees since the surgery was done for free. At that same moment, her daughter Faye arrives at the clinic. She sees her standing alone outside Pearl's office. She walks toward her to talk, but suddenly one of the guards appears and sedates her. Later that night, Pearl gathers everyone in the clinic. She introduces Virginia to them and tells them that Virginia is now one of them, so they should support her and make her feel happy. Virginia begins telling them her story. She says she is a widow who is 60 years old and that she has struggled with a problem in her life. She has never been satisfied with how she looks and always feels ugly because she got older and started feeling the weight of age. That feeling destroyed her emotionally and left her depressed and isolated from everyone. But after meeting Dr. Pearl, she felt hope again. She believed Pearl could bring back her youth. In the end, she tells them she is happy to be there with them. They welcome her warmly. Then 2 guards arrive, dragging Faye with them. They inform Pearl that she broke into the place and was spying on them. Faye desperately warns her mother that something very wrong is happening there. She begs her to run away immediately. Virginia apologizes to Pearl and explains that Faye is not her biological daughter. She says she only adopted her years ago After thinking for a moment, Pearl orders the guards to remove Faye from the place. Then she begins removing the bandages from Virginia's face and lets her look in the mirror. Virginia is horrified to see that her face now looks like a pig. She is completely shocked and cannot process what she is seeing. That is when Dr. Pearl reveals the truth. She tells her she is the leader of a secret cult that worships the devil. She explains that the surgery was meant to transform her face into a pig so she could be offered as a sacrifice. But she gives her one chance to survive. If she manages to reach the ocean before they catch her, she will be free. But if they capture her first, they will kill her. The moment Virginia hears this, she runs as fast as she can through the forest, trying to reach the ocean. The cult members chase after her through the dark woods. One of them throws a spear that strikes her leg, and she falls to the ground. She struggles to stand and keeps moving forward until she finds a large pipe and crawls inside, hoping to hide from them. The moment she crawls out of the pipe, she finds her neighbor waiting for her. She is shocked to realize he's part of the devil-worshipping CCO. They did all of this to turn her into a pig and offer her as a sacrifice. Suddenly, Pearl and the rest of the cult members appear and start attacking her with spears until she is killed. Moments later, Faye arrives and finds her mother dead. She is devastated and cannot believe what is happening. Pearl tries to explain everything to her. She tells Faye that they killed Virginia because she was selfish and could not accept herself. The cult's goal is to kill anyone who is selfish or cannot accept themselves. They offer them as sacrifices to the devil in exchange for beauty and wealth. Faye also learns that her real mother was a member of the cult. Before she died, she asked them to take care of Faye and make her one of them. Faye is stunned by this revelation. She remembers the necklace her mother gave her before she died. It has a butterfly symbol on it. It turns out to be the same symbol Pearl had tattooed on her arm. After some time, Faye returns to her normal life. She goes to university to attend her classes. She has joined their university. She gets a butterfly tattoo on her arm, just like the cult. While at university, she meets a friend. She is surprised to see he has the same tattoo on his arm, and that he has also joined their university. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you never miss a new video, and I will see you next time. Take care.